It is estimated that 164 million Americans, half of our population, play video games, also known as gaming. Contrary to popular belief, it isn't just teens who play games. According to a recent survey, only 21% of gamers were under 18 years old. While gaming can be a fun distraction or hobby, and is even becoming a competitive sport on many college campuses, there are health risks that come from too much gaming. What are these harms, and what can be done about them? Before discussing the harms of gaming, it is only fair to mention the benefits. Aside from being entertaining and a fun pastime, gaming can provide a way for people to interact with each other, a virtual community, as they work together toward completing common tasks. Our society suffers from an epidemic of loneliness, and gaming can be a vehicle to connect with others, including otherwise difficult to connect with people in your life, such as kids, grandkids, or I've seen this be quite helpful with autistic children who can have challenges with traditional modes of communication. There is mixed research that there are some cognitive benefits to gaming, such as better control of one's attention and improved spatial reasoning, though it isn't entirely clear how much these benefits extend outside of the video game sphere into the real world. Finally, video games have medical applications, such as training people with degenerative diseases to improve their balance, helping adolescents with ADHD improve their thinking skills, or training surgeons on how to do technically complicated operations. It is important to remember that video games are not inherently evil. Most of the negative effects of video games arise from excessive use and addiction. Here are 10 negative effects of video games. The first, dopamine addiction. The reward circuitry in your brain is one of the reasons video games are fun. Your brain releases a neurotransmitter called dopamine, which regulates the feeling of pleasure from video games. When dopamine activity happens in the nucleus accumbens, the pleasure center of your brains, you feel joy. When you play video games, your brain releases a constant dopamine supply with occasional random bursts. Over time, your brain gets used to this steady supply of dopamine, and the nucleus accumbens requires even more dopamine release for gaming to feel fun. That prevents you from enjoying anything that is not as stimulating as a video game. Even if you try to give up gaming, your mind will attract you to other forms of stimulation, such as browsing YouTube or scrolling through social media. Simple activities will seem completely unappealing, and you will not be motivated to do anything that isn't exciting. That is the height of dopamine addiction. If you let your gaming habit get out of control, this is a real possibility. The second, negative effects of video games on motivation. Unlike the nucleus accumbens, we cannot map the triumph circuit onto the brain as easily. It is not localized to one part of the brain. It's just a general pattern of psychology and cognition integral to human beings.